AI, 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 AI. Hey, what's up? It's Kareem Black, your friendly neighborhood professional photographer, and today I want to rant a little bit about artificial intelligence, AI. It's what everybody's talking about. So I figured I'd give you some of my thoughts on it as a professional photographer who's been in the industry for 23, almost 24 years. So today's subject is AI. Let's get to work. So first things first, I think it's really important that we all have a common frame of reference. Let's figure out what AI is. What is the dictionary definition of AI? According to the Dictionary Britannica, artificial intelligence, AI, the ability of a digital computer or computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent beings. Now, that definition is disappointingly and humorously vague. I think that by that definition, we can talk to the auto workers in Flint and Detroit about AI taking their jobs on the assembly line in the 70s and 80s. If the definition of AI is a machine that can do the job of a human, then we're talking about automation. Wait, there's more? The term is frequently applied to the project of developing systems endowed with the intellectual processes characteristic of humans, such as the ability to reason, discover meaning, generalize, or learn from past experience. That is what everybody's afraid of. The machine's learning, the machine's evolving. Will they evolve to take all of our jobs and eventually destroy us all, Skynet style? Well, I think that since we already have a definition of AI, or a complete definition, let's talk about where this thing came from. You don't have to go back to the Industrial Revolution based on current definition. You have to go back to Detroit. But we have been living with AI for a while. I mean, MapQuest, Siri, Alexa, spell check, predictive text. All the Adobe programs right now are incorporating AI, but they have been for a while. I mean, the clone stamp. I remember when the clone stamp came out, and it was absolutely mind-blowing. Not to even mention the patch tool. Like the very simple patch tool, I'm talking about maybe 2007, where you can sort of sample an area and then take that information and then fill it into another area. That's very primitive AI. We've lived with this thing for a minute. Content-aware fill, which is absolutely amazing. I think it came out Photoshop, I want to say 2017. Absolutely. I mean, now we have generative fill, but these are things that we've lived with for a while in the photo world, and we have used them as tools. I argue that we've been living with this for a while. The interesting thing is, it was not dubbed AI before. And I think a lot of what we're dealing with right now is the branding of it. Like, it's terrifying. Artificial intelligence. With that said, I do not contend that the current batch of AI is anything less than groundbreaking. So, okay, hold on. Will AI take our jobs and destroy us all? I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is, not today. The bad news is, maybe. I've been a professional photographer for 23-ish years. I've been all over the world. I've shot for everyone. And this is the most relevant, the most drastic, and the most nerve-wracking, nerve-inducing, anxiety-inducing change that I've seen in my career. The AI revolution in photography is amazing and nerve-wracking and anxiety-inducing and exciting and terrifying all at the same time. I agree. The question is, what do we do about it? Now, please understand, I'm speaking to you from the standpoint of a professional photographer who understands that whatever I say here will probably be outdated in 6 months or a year. That's how fast this technology is evolving. But the question remains, what do we do about it? What do we do? I had a super interesting conversation with a friend of mine, photographer friend, whose argument was basically we need to legislate this, and until it's legislated, we need to band together and not use AI. And I appreciate and respect sort of from a moral angle of, that argument, but I do not think that this is something that's going to happen. First, legislation, while needed, moves very slowly, as we all know. And while I don't know a lot about tech, I do know I know people. And I know that this technology will be pushed to the advantage of whoever can push it as far as it can go. Monetary advantage, social, whatever. I think that this will keep on going, and I think that as photographers and as problem solvers, we need to learn how to adapt. The other thing that I'll say about this photographer's argument, it reminds me of a Klingon. This is for all my Trekkies out there. It's in the Klingon version of the Bible. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Stop me if you've heard this before. But Kalis, the unforgettable, was standing outside a city with another man as a storm approached. Kalis went inside the walls of the city as the storm came closer and went back outside. He asked the other guy, he's like, "Why are you standing outside the walls? There's a storm coming." The other guy says, "I'm not afraid of the storm. I'm going to make the wind bend to my will." Kalis went back inside. Kalis came out the next morning and the man had been killed. That comes to mind because AI is the storm. We are not going to stop it. We have to Sun Tzu said, learn from your enemies, know your enemy. We have to know it. We have to learn it. There are great photographers that I knew when we were all going through the transition from film to digital. They refused to shoot digital. I respected that decision morally. Practically and actually, a lot of those guys and girls aren't working anymore. It's not feasible. The world has moved on. There are a lot of photographers that aren't doing tintype prints. I love the process. It's just not happening. Daguerreotypes, just not happening. This is from somebody who shot the first fifth of his career on 4x5. I miss film. I just don't get to shoot as much as I was. My answer is we learn the technology, we learn its strengths and weaknesses, and then we utilize it to our advantage. The AI cat is out of the barn. The AI horse is out of the barn. Before I go further, thank you guys for getting this far. These are just my thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. Learning about this technology, part of that is also discussing it. Please leave your opinions on what I'm saying, what you think the solutions are, what the problems are in the comments below. That'd be super cool. We're all in this together. With the thought in mind of knowing our enemy, Art of War style, what is this current batch of AI? In my opinion, it is a fascination. It is something to learn. It's very interesting. I see tremendous potential there. But as a professional photographer, the images that AI generates are all super low res and unusable for me at this moment. Again, I think that this is something that will change very quickly, or AI will be able to produce high-res images that are capable of being put on billboards or whatever. It's interesting because over the decades I've been doing professional photography, photography itself has become more and more disposable. Everybody swipes in Instagram. There's photography out there. Everybody's a photographer nowadays, which is great. I think the more the merrier. The more photographers are, the more inspiration there is out there. And so I think that AI, under scrutiny that's not medium or high res, Well, there's a place on Instagram and all these sort of disposable images. I think at the top level of photography, technically, it's not there yet. It will happen as far as high res. I do also think that there is, when we're talking about a Mid-Journey, when we're talking about a Firefly, when we're talking about the new Photoshop beta, which I did an episode on and which I'll continue to do episodes on because I keep on discovering new things in it and keeps evolving. I think that across the board, all of these, we're talking about a lack of control. We're talking about a lack of control. It's sort of like a toy where you're like, okay, I want it to look like this, and then you're waiting to see what the computer comes up with, right? It's sort of, and in that way, it's a collaboration between you and the computer, but it's not purely what you're thinking, And you're always sort of at the whim of the computer didn't do it right. Well, it's not exactly what I wanted, but that's kind of part of the thrill also. I think that for AI to be implemented in any sizable way on a professional level, I think it needs to be more exacting. And maybe there comes along a job of an AI interpreter that sort of knows how to speak to, the Mid-Journeys or the Fireflies, and knows what that algorithm is like in order to make it to do certain things. I think that that's a job that'll be open up. I think that I'd be lying to you guys and to myself if saying that the technology that we see right now is not a harbinger of things to come. It will become up-res, it will become more usable, and what do we do then? Well, I think that photographers, I think that artists, I think that people, our greatest strength is our inspiration and our improvisation. That's why we're trying to learn about AI, but then improvise and see, okay, AI can't do this, I need to up my game here. I think that AI is still dependent on a human prompt, more or less, and then it draws on its experience. AI is not sentient. I think that I need to say that again. AI is not sentient. This is our biggest strength in our war against AI, against our potential machine overlords. Now, I've gone over the cons as I see it, just a few, with our inevitable integration of AI, of this current batch of AI into our lives. What are the pros, though? I mean, I think that the pros are, there are a couple treatments that I've used AI to help me out on. Not ChatGPT, but sort of imagining images that I want to make. I think that AI helps us with our artist block, our collective artist block that we all get. I think it's tremendously entertaining. With all of that said, and I don't want to be negative, I will go back to a con that I just remembered, like a negative of AI. I mean, there will be collateral damage, right? I think that while AI will be more threatening to certain sectors of professional photography than others. For instance, I did see an AI fabrication of a beauty product campaign shot on white, and it looked real. It looked real. There were no people involved. There were no hands, no faces, but there were just the beauty products photographed on white, and it looked absolutely flawless. And it was all computer generated, and there were photographers that lost a job to that. But on the other side, I think that AI, when dealing with people, like celebrities, say, I think that it's going to be harder to, or people in general, and it's going to be harder to sort of supplant photographers' jobs on that end of the industry. I could be mistaken. Again, check me in 6 months. This video hasn't expired by date. Okay, final verdict, which isn't the final verdict because this is a technology in its infancy, which is evolving geometrically. My final verdict, though, final verdict for today is AI is here. AI is not going anywhere. AI is a storm outside that Klingon city. We have to do our best to learn about it. We have to do our best to master it. So in conclusion, don't panic. Yeah, first of all, it's undignified. Second of all, let's just make like a bunch of little Sun Tzus and know our enemy. It's the best that we can do. It's the only thing that we can do. That's what we do best. We evolve. We're photographers. It is easy to forget how awesome that is. We're creatives. We're artists. We're problem solvers. We can solve this problem. Hey guys, that was my little rant about AI. I've got a million more thoughts, and maybe I'll make another one of these videos. I'm so interested to hear your thoughts. Leave them in the comments. I'd love to try to make this be a community. Artists are better together when we start to share thoughts and compare notes. What do you guys think of AI? Am I completely wrong? Will we have robot overlords in 2024? Let me know what you think. At the same time, these are my socials. You know how to find me. Hit me up. I'm not a hard guy to find. Until next time, it's your friendly neighborhood professional photographer, Kareem Black, bidding you adieu. Hold on, wait. Before I go, I really want to thank all my new subscribers. It's awesome that you guys are tuning into this. I'm trying to make it good, and little by little, I think that we're getting there, right? For the rest of you, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, you cowards. You know you want to. You know you want to.